Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're going to talk about something seriously cool. It's a new preview feature in DAX called User-Defined Functions. And trust me, it's about to completely change how you write your DAX.
Okay, let me ask you something. Are you tired of that copy-paste life? You know what I mean. You write this amazing piece of DAX, it works perfectly, and then you have to paste it into 5, 10, 20 different measures. It's a total pain, right? And what happens when the business rule changes? A nightmare. Well, what if I told you there's a much, much better way?
Well, there is. Say hello to User-Defined Functions, or UDFs. Seriously, this is the solution we've been waiting for. Just think about it. You get to create your own DAX functions. You write the logic once, stick it in one central spot, and then you can just call it whenever you need it, in any measure, any column, anywhere. This is absolutely massive for keeping your models clean and easy to manage. All right, so you're probably thinking, how do I do this? Let's get our hands dirty and build our first one. I'll walk you through it.
Okay, first things first. This is a preview feature, so you have to switch it on. It's super simple. Just pop into your options, go to Preview Features, find DAX User-Defined Functions, and check that box. Hit OK, give Power BI a quick restart, and boom, that's it. You only have to do it once.
So once that's enabled, where do you actually write these things? You've got a couple of great options. The DAX Query View, the DQV, is probably where most of us will live. It's perfect for writing and testing. If you're into the whole Power BI projects and TMDL thing, you can write them there too. And no matter where you create them, they'll show up nice and tidy in the Model Explorer for you to see.
Now, the syntax itself is really straightforward. You just use the define keyword and the new function keyword. Super clean. But here's a killer tip. You're going to love this. See those 3 forward slashes for the comment? If you do that right before your function, that description will pop up in IntelliSense when you go to use it. How awesome is that? It makes your functions self-documenting.
Let's make this real with a super simple example. We'll call it add tax. All it does is take one number, which we're calling amount, and multiplies it by 1.1. And that's it. We've just taken a common business rule and wrapped it up in its own little reusable package.
And here's the best part. Using it is a piece of cake. You just call it by name, just like you would sum or average. So in our measure, we just write add tax and pass in our total sales measure. See how clean that is? No more multiplying by 1.1 scattered all over your model. So much better.
All right, so simple stuff is cool, right? But this is where things get really interesting. The real power, the wow moment with UDFs, comes from how they let you control the very soul of DAX, the evaluation context. And this is the thing you really need to grasp. It's not just about saving some typing. It's about being able to dictate when and how your code actually runs. And the way we do that is with something called parameter modes.
So you've got two choices for your parameters, val or express. Think of val as eager. It does the math before the function even sees it. So if you pass total sales to it, the function doesn't see the measure, it just gets the final number, like 1.2 million. It gets the value. Now express is the opposite. It's lazy. It doesn't do the math first. It literally hands the unevaluated formula, the expression, over to the function. This is huge because it means your function gets to decide when to run that formula and how. I know, that sounds a little theoretical. So let's look at a side-by-side example that will make this difference between val and expra click into place. It's a real mind-bender, in a good way. Okay, let's really zoom in here. On the left, we've got val, the eager one. When our measure, which is filtered for fiscal year 2020, calls this function, it calculates the table first. So what gets passed into the function? A table that only has FY 2020 data. So when the function tries to use all date to remove the date filter, it's too late. The other years are already gone. So we get the count for just that 1 year, 84,285. Now look at the right side with expri, the lazy one. This time, we don't pass a filtered table. We pass the idea of the sales table, the unevaluated expression. Now the function is in charge. Inside the function, it says, okay, first I'm going to use all date to wipe out that external FY 2020 filter. Then I'll count the rows of the sales table. And what's the result? 121,253, the count for all sales across all time. See the power? With expri, your function controls the context. It's incredible.
Okay, moving on. Another really professional touch you can add to your functions is type checking. This is all about making them more robust and preventing errors. Basically, you can have your function check what kind of data it's been given before it tries to do anything with it.
And DAX gives us a whole bunch of these is functions to do this. You can check for is numeric, is string, is datetime, you name it. It's how you build functions that don't just crash and burn if they get the wrong kind of input.
Here's a classic example, a function to get the length of a string. But before we just run len, we check, is string? Is this thing you gave me actually text? If yes, great, we return the length. If no, maybe someone passed in a number by mistake. We just return blank instead of blowing up the whole visual with an error message. That's what I mean by robust.
Okay, so before you get too excited and start rewriting every single report you've ever made, hold on a second. We have to remember this is still in preview. So let's talk about the fine print. A few things that aren't quite there yet.
So right now, you can't do things like, but look, even with those little things, don't lose sight of the big picture here. This feature is an absolute game changer. It's a fundamental shift in how we approach DAX, giving us the power to write clean, reusable, and maintainable code, which is exactly what we need for today's complex models. So I'll leave you with this question. Think about your own reports. Think about that one piece of logic you've copied and pasted a dozen times. How is this new power to create your own functions going to change the way you build your very next Power BI model? Definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for watching.